thing, and Billy's got a little taser that he like swings. It's so stupid. It's so called it's like Stega Stinger, and he tases some guy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the 30s podcast. I am your solo host today, Uncle Marcus. Clint is in. He's busy today, but he will be in Alabama coming up, so he may not be here for the next few episodes. So I'm doing the solo today, a last-minute solo that I wasn't aware of, so maybe a little bit shorter. Who knows? But I'm happy to do one. Caesar's here as well as always. Hi. So he'll be helping me out for some of this. We'll see. But this will probably be, we might do one more episode before the end of the year, but this may be the last one. So I'll go ahead and call this the Christmas episode. Yay. So I hope everyone's holidays are full of cheer and presents and lots of food and Santa Claus and Krampuses and Grinches and all the good things. Kind of went all over the place. The good and the bad parts of Christmas, which, you know, if you think about Christmas, I'll get into that. I wanted to do a little bit of follow-up, first of all. Our last episode was a big hit, so I'm glad that, you know, there were some listens and some likes and some follows from that. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's pretty much just me talking, but a lot of it's about Austin, Texas, and Joe Rogan's Comedy Club, the mothership, and how much of a nerd I was about that. But it was a lot of fun. So yeah, we'll get into the new things today. This is the Christmas episode, as I said before. So I do want to talk a lot about Christmas, just right off the bat. To everyone celebrates, Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have a good one. Christmas is always kind of whatever for me. I feel like once you become an adult, we have these Christmases when we're kids where every family's different, but generally you get some presents, you know, and it takes so long to get there. You know, the years, as all the years fly by, when you're younger, the years take forever. Just remember thinking about school, how long it takes for a school year when you're in elementary school, and you finally get to summer. So when you're younger, Christmases seem so far in between, and then once it's actually there, you get all the presents. You know, it's mostly about the kids. If you know, when you celebrate with your family, no one really cares about the adults. It's about the kids. If you're a family with kids. And then as you become an adult, like myself, who one, has no kids, two, does not like kids, doesn't have no kids to buy for. I have a nephew, but he's too young to buy anything really that he's going to remember.
How old is he?
3. So he'll be 3 for Christmas. So, you know, I don't remember being 3.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can buy that would be memorable.
Yeah.
It's just like another. It's to me as a 36-year-old adult. It's just another. It's a reminder that this year's over. Another one's coming. Nothing really changes too much year to year. You know, at this age, we have the same career. I have the same career I had last year. Financial situation's the same. You know, social situation. Everything's the same. It's just you're getting older. And then also coupled with, I don't know how most people feel about this, but I hate that it's always dark this time of year. It gets dark at like 4:30, you know, here in California. So it's just, I feel like it adds to the gloominess of Christmas. Or it's dark, it's cold. I'm wearing a beanie and a hoodie today. It's cold outside right now. It's like 52. It's cold. It's dark. The days are short. For some reason, there's so many people out. Well, I know the reason, because people are shopping and, you know, there's holiday parties and whatever, but it's Christmas is like, it's festive with the decorations and, you know, the parties and everything, but it's pretty dark. I feel like it's a pretty dark holiday. It's pretty grim, you know, and there's a reason why a lot of horror movies are made about Christmas time. You know, there's obviously Krampus, which I said earlier, which is kind of a comedy, but it's still a horror Christmas movie. Black Christmas, you know, that's another one. Die Hard, well, it's not horror, but it uses a Christmas setting, you know, and that's not a happy movie. It's a fun action movie, but it's, you know, there's going on. You know, whatever, so on. It goes on, but yeah, I'm just, you know, the holidays are kind of yucky for me. And then once you get in January is like a brisk, smooth, you know, easy time. And, you know, everyone's back in their homes. You know, it slowly starts to get lighter later and later in January. Very slowly. That's when it starts, though, is in January. You get a bit more sunlight. Roads are cleared. All the bullshit's over, and, you know, it's great. But yeah, but with Christmas comes Christmas movies. Like, and I already mentioned some scary ones. But I would like to, well, I'm the only one here, but I'd like to hear all your guys' Christmas movies. Like I'm talking to a classroom. But watching movies in specific seasons is a big thing. You know, again, a lot of movies are themed around holidays and, you know, mishaps and, you know, shenanigans that happen around holidays. My favorite Christmas movies is Home Alone. Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Classic.
It's a very it screams Christmas, and, you know, it's our generation, especially when we were kids. Like, that movie was rad. You know, this little kid fighting back against the burglars, and also he's at home alone, and he does something that none of us would ever be able to do, like go shopping, and buy all kinds of junk and order pizzas, and he lives in that mansion that somehow that dad can afford. I don't know, with all those kids. Which that's like, I remember seeing that online. It's been like, they bring it up every year, but it's like, what was Kevin McAllister's dad's job?
Yeah.
Because he has that huge house, all those kids. They fly first class to New York City. Well, the second one, New York City. The first one, I think they go to the Bahamas or something.
Yeah, and then they get rained out.
Yeah, some tropical place, and they got rained out. And like, how the fuck does this guy afford that?
Wasn't the second one that they flew to Paris and then he ended up in New York?
Yeah,
that's what it was.
He got on the wrong plane, so he was, you know, plane alone. I don't know. He wasn't home alone, but he got on the wrong plane. And even that one too, where he has his dad's credit card.
Yeah.
And he gets a place at the Plaza, a suite at the Plaza.
He's a scammer.
He's a scammer, Kevin the scammer. He has a suite at the Plaza. Yeah. He bumps into Donald Trump too. That thing comes around all the time. Yeah. Do we have to bleep that word?
No.
That name, I don't know. Actually, we probably wanted to say that to get the hits. Yeah, but he buys a suite at the Plaza. He runs into Donald Trump. What's the guy's name? Who's Tim Curry's the
hotel guy?
Yeah, the whatever that guy is. One of his funnier roles.
What's his name too? Rob Schneider.
Yeah, he's Cedric. Yeah. Come along, Cedric. And you're like, how the fuck does this little kid? I don't know. And to what I was saying about the dad's job, he buys all that stuff. The card does not get declined. So he has the money to afford all that shit. Yeah, what a flawed. I mean, you think you would make that movie today, Home Alone?
They do. They made it. They remade it. It's the same thing. It's the same. The idea is that they're gonna break into the house, and the kid's like, "It's my house. I gotta defend it."
But he has a cell phone, right? Like I think like today
they explain it away.
They find a way around it. Like, the power's out.
They can't.
The Wi-Fi's not working. Which I have a story about that later. But, I don't know. I feel like, well, maybe you're right. Fuck that. I don't know what I'm talking about. They did it today.
Well, but it doesn't make sense. Like in every practical way, there's like, I think in the movie it was like some like BS excuse.
Yeah.
But there's no way that would be possible anymore, because like you got a Ring camera, you could just press the button and be like, "Hey, mom, I'm here."
Yeah.
So like it only worked in the early 2000s and before. You know?
Yeah. Because also too, I'm just thinking about my house. If I were a little kid living in my house and someone tried to break in today, 2024, everybody would know. Like the houses aren't close together, but they're close enough to where there's people all around who like, I've got like, people look out their window and like, why is that short bald guy and that tall guy with the crazy hair at that house? They don't live there.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you would know. Yeah. Anyway, Home Alone's a good one. Batman Returns is a good one. That's very Christmassy.
Yeah.
Takes place during Christmas. It's dark.
Forgot about that. I didn't even watch that one again.
Yeah, that's a good one for Christmas. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas? That's a Christmas movie, right?
It's both because it's a little bit of both. But they re-show it in theaters during Halloween.
Okay.
But he's from Halloween Town. He visits Christmas, whatever land.
Okay, there's overlap.
Yeah.
It could work for both holidays. I know Disneyland does that for Halloween, so. But he's in a Santa costume.
Exactly.
I don't know. I think I've said it last year, but I also like watching The Exorcist at Christmas time. Only one person has been like okay with my response to that. And that was Jasmine, friend of the show. It's cold. It's dark. It's not that scary. Maybe because we're older now, but even as a kid, I didn't think it was that scary. It's just kind of disturbing and gross, but it is very like, cozy in a weird way.
Does it all take place in the house?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
there's some scenes that are not there, but like the actions at the house, because the daughter doesn't leave, and she's the one that does the scary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off in Syria or something, or somewhere in that part of the world. But yeah, it's like it's quiet, it's slow, it's something you can just kind of curl up and watch. Maybe not a first watch. Maybe that's why I like it at Christmas time. I know it's gonna happen, but if it's a first watch, maybe don't be disarmed by Christmas. It's gonna be disturbing. But yeah, Krampus too. I watched that one a few years ago. It was pretty good. That's like a funny one.
Comedy horror.
Yeah, have you seen that one?
No.
That was funny. Yeah, I said Black Christmas. That's a good one. The old one is good.
The original,
and then they did one maybe like 15 years ago. I want to say like mid 2000s or late 2000s. It's like a slasher one. That one's pretty good too. And then they made a new one a couple years ago that's
even
absolute trash. Yeah. I don't know what they were doing with that one, but yeah, that one fucking sucked. And then this is kind of a plot twist or spoiler. I like watching The Holiday at Christmas time.
That's unexpected.
Surprise! I like The Holiday. That's a good movie, dude.
I didn't know you came out.
I don't know what it is about that movie. I watched it in high school, so I was old enough already, and then it was just, I don't know, it was just like a very nice, comfy movie to watch. It's got Hans Zimmer does the soundtrack. That's crazy. Love me some Hans. Yeah, enough about that.
What about Scrooge? Have you seen that one with Bill Murray?
No,
we talked about that last year, right?
Yeah, it's where they make fun of what's it called?
Nightmare Before Christmas. The Christmas Carol.
Nightmare for real.
The Christmas Carol. So it's like a update version
Carol.
of Christmas Carol with Bill Murray.
Okay, I do have a memory of watching Scrooge when I was a kid. I think the end is kind of weird, right? There's like a weird. Maybe not.
Well, I think it's because Bill Murray is also really sarcastic. So him like trying to be sincere and kind, you're like, are you serious? Or are you just still making fun of this idea? Like it kind of falls apart at the end, even though I love the movie, because he's like, come on, guys, we got to love each other. But, but not really.
Okay. So if it was real, you'd be like, that's a bit forced, but is he being sarcastic?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen the original, but Clinton said, "Here with Scrooge." Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you don't like kids. I'm like,
well, I mean, the original Christmas Carol is it's a classic movie, but I think that like the newer updates are even good.
Yeah.
Like Scrooge. And then there's one with the Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell that we told you about like maybe a year or 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
That one's even better.
Okay. Yeah, the classic Christmas movies. The only one I don't like is the one that they run all day every year with the little kid.
It's a miracle. It's a Wonderful Life or a Miracle on 34th Street or something like that.
Is it Christmas Story?
Christmas Story.
That one I always thought was pretty lame.
Yeah,
but it gets like a lot of they play it every day. I don't know what channel it is, but there's one channel every year that plays it all day. I think it's maybe TBS or some stupid shit like that. But yeah, I've never really liked that movie. The one with the and that leg lamp is like a big
like symbolic thing. Yeah.
Oh, the movie can fuck off. Exorcist is a more Christmassy movie than that. The classic one, the one you just said, Christmas Carol. I obviously haven't seen it, but I have no interest. So
yeah.
I will say, memes included, I have not really heard Mariah Carey's song this year.
Oh no! I mean, I don't. Well, where would you hear it?
I don't know. I feel like every year it's always either like in a lot of memes or it's being made fun of, or you go to like a Stater Brothers or something, and you would hear it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the build up to it after Halloween, it's always like, oh, it's coming.
She's defrosting.
She's defrosting. Yeah. She's like Godzilla coming out of the ocean. Yeah, I feel like I haven't really heard much about it this year, which I'm not complaining about. Yeah. That song was way played the fuck out.
What about Last Christmas by Wham?
That one I feel like is not too played out.
Yeah.
It's obviously, we all know the song.
Yeah.
You know, that one, it's not just, they're not making defrosting jokes about Wham. You know? I feel like Mariah Carey, she does stuff usually for it every year too.
Yeah, this year she went on tour.
Yeah, she's in on the joke where she makes money off it. But I don't think Wham's doing anything. I did the internet thing though about the Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi was out for like 2 hours today, and it was a nightmare, dude. Like, you don't realize how much you're using your Wi-Fi, especially because I live in a dead zone, so I can't use for my phone. I'm talking about like my laptop, but my phone, I can't use it because there's no service.
You can't
no signal. It's in that
it's
in that SOS mode, unless I have Wi-Fi or like randomly there'll be one bar here.
That's scary. Like to have, if your Wi-Fi goes down, you have no way to communicate.
Right. Yeah. Well, like, you know, I mean, if I really need to, I could drive down the street and, you know, still I have had to call someone, but just like that zone of my house and like a maybe 50-foot radius around it, nothing.
Damn.
So, the Wi-Fi it's getting upgraded today. It was getting upgraded, but I thought it was going to be a 15-minute thing, whatever. And the guy comes and he was like, "Oh, we got to replace this, and then run a line into that, and run a line down into this."
Once we start running lines,
yeah, yes, dude. And then we got to do this thing, and then you're going to be good. And I was like, it wasn't going to cost any extra.
Yeah,
but I said, "Well, how long is that going to take?"
Yeah,
because that was shortly after I learned I had to do this alone. So I was like, "Okay, let me look at some stuff to talk about today on my own." And they were like, "Oh, it's going to be a few hours." Fuck.
Damn.
We'll get going then. Let's go on it. And then he had to leave to go get something and then came back. So he came back. It was like 30 minutes, wasn't long, but it took a little over 2 hours. And what am I going to do? I had nothing to do. Yeah. And luckily I have music downloaded onto my phone. So I have some stuff I could just have on because I have a record player. It's displayed though. It's not plugged in. The records are all in a storage unit, so I can't play music that way. I don't have a boombox. Yeah, if you guys don't know what a boombox is, or CDs. I don't have CDs.
I was gonna say physical media of any kind.
I have like Blu-rays. And a handful of Blu-rays. Yeah, I can always watch TV. Even I don't have cable, but you know that's all your internet nowadays too. Is your cable or your streaming services. So unless you have physical media, you can't. You're kind of just stranded, which is sad to think about that. I can't last an hour and a half without that kind of stuff. You know, I did. But I have a lot of books and stuff. It was just weird, like, because throughout your day, you don't realize how much you're using your Wi-Fi until it's gone. It was a really sobering thought to think. Like, my first thought was distress. like, what am I going to do? And I got no podcasts to listen to. Like, I can't write anything. I can't, like, I do my voiceover. Obviously there's classes I could take, but there's also what's the word? Rooms. Like it's got its own like thing where people talk to each other and there's resources in here and I can't use that. Yeah, and it's so crippling without your Wi-Fi. You don't realize it until it's gone, which is an interesting place for it now at this part in history where our devices are so integral to our day to day. Yeah. You know, we were obviously both alive before Wi-Fi was here, but we weren't adults yet. We were kids. So what did the adults do?
Yeah. Talk to each other. Build relationships.
Yeah. Because they couldn't text, so if they wanted to talk to each other, they'd have to call.
Yeah.
Which sounds horrible.
We're thinking the idea of like, okay, they had to call and be like, hey, I'll meet you there at 5. And then there's no cell phones at a certain point. So then you're just like, I hope that they're there at 5.
Right. If not, then I'm here alone. Or, I'll just leave. But look, I texted you when I got here.
Yeah.
Are you here yet? Yeah. But if I had no phone, I'm just waiting outside this door.
Yeah.
Say you just got sick or just decided not to come. I'm out here for 2 hours. Like, I guess he's not coming. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
You're fucking pissed. Yeah, I don't know. It provoked a lot of interesting thoughts, especially about childhood, which brings me into my next topic.
Mm-hmm.
I downloaded this video game that came out yesterday. It's called Power Rangers.
Oh, nice.
Rita's Revenge or something. I don't know. Rita's Rewind. And it made me think about, it's a really cool game and it's nostalgic for if you're around at that time. Mm-hmm. But I used to watch Power Rangers when I was a kid.
Same.
The first iteration, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. After that, I was kind of aged out of it, but I just was into other things. But I loved Power Rangers, dude. I loved it. Playing this game brought it all back.
So this is like a classic throwback side scroller, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a beat 'em up side scroller game. And
nice.
When I was a kid, there was a Power Rangers game for Super Nintendo, which was like this. It was like a beat 'em up game. I think it was just called Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then there was another one which was based or styled after the movie Power Rangers the movie, the game. Which is another side scrolling beat 'em up game. And
this is like super old school. I'm looking at the graphics.
Oh, you're watching? Okay, yeah. It was a lot of fun, and I really liked those two games when I was a kid. So when I played this, I played a little bit last night, and it just flung me right back, to Power Rangers as a kid, and so many fond memories, and especially about Power Rangers, which is, the last time I really had any kind of Power Rangers, anything, I guess, was when the live action movie came out a few years ago. Well, I feel like probably like 2016 at this point.
Well, the 17. One with like all the older Power Rangers coming back?
No, it was, that one. Okay, so I forgot about that one. I did watch that one too. I'm talking about the one with the guy from Stranger Things and then the girl from Aladdin.
Oh, it was like a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the girl that sings that My Outage song, what's her name? I don't know, whatever. There was like a lot of younger people. And I watched that movie with Steve, friend of the show. He also liked Power Rangers when he was a kid. And we watched that one and really liked it just because it was stroking that itch from when you were a kid. And scratching, not stroking. That was the wrong word. Scratching that itch.
Stroking.
Yeah, so I was getting stroked in my childhood. No, scratched. So that movie came out I want to say that was during the pandemic or around that time.
Or something like I'll look it up. Power Rangers reboot.
The new one. It's called like Once Forever, Once and Always. Anyway, it came out. It was, I feel like either the year like 2021, maybe 2022. I don't know. But that one it brought back some of the old cast, but it was weird to watch because they're all old now, and they don't. It's not, and it was a fun kind of memory lane thing, but it just kind of, in my opinion, took away from what I watched as a kid. Because now they're old, and I know they're not doing bad. They morph at certain points in that movie, and it's like, I know that's not you in that suit because that guy's fucking flipping and flying, and you're like 55. You're not doing that shit. But
then that guy died, huh?
Yeah, he that was really sad.
Yeah,
and it's still sad to think about that because he, Jason David Frank, played Tommy, Green Ranger. He was like all about it, even up until he passed. He was like he did all the conventions and stuff, but because I followed him on Instagram, he was like always, he was still that guy. Yeah. He was still like, I don't know. He would like have his helmets, and he would always talk about it, and he seemed happy. He seemed like a happy guy, and then you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes with
They
people,
always seem happy.
They all seem happy.
Yeah.
And then because it was so shocking too, it wasn't like, say, one of the ones you don't hear about, like I don't even know. You kind of still hear about all of them. They still kind of do stuff if you're in that world a bit.
Yeah.
Say like when Corey Haim died or something, or someone who was very popular young and then just went off the rails. If you hear that they unalive themselves, it's not as shocking. But then someone like Jason David Frank, who still had a successful career. I don't think he was an actor anymore, but he did act. He went back to the show for one of the dinosaur season things. I don't know which one, but he went back on the show and was on it again. And then he's still, I know he had like studios and stuff. He was at a successful career. He wasn't, doing meth in an alley somewhere, and then he just ends it. So
damn,
it's sad, but what was I saying? Yeah, Power Rangers is fun. Bring it back up. It was fun to walk down that lane, and then last night I had a few Crown Royals, but the movie is on YouTube. Power Rangers the movie,
the original one,
and Power Rangers the movie and Jurassic Park were my two most played VHSs when I was a kid. Right, I know the script start to finish for both of those movies. Nice. I will speak it as they are speaking it. I went and saw Jurassic Park with Steve when they did a re-release like years and years ago, and I was just speaking the movie in the theater, and it's just like, will you shut the fuck up? But I could do that with I could when I was a kid do that with Power Rangers. I haven't watched that movie in forever, but I watched it last night, and I could still do it. Most of it, some of it is gone, but it was a fun watch. It just brings you back to when Christmas was fun, that era of your life. And
so, this is going to be a weird random thing. Does that have either Higher Ground by the Red Hot Chili Peppers or Thunderstruck by AC/DC? Those songs I associate with that movie for some reason. Do you know
what was the first one you said?
Higher Ground by Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're like, people keep on.
Oh yeah,
rocking.
That's when they're jumping out of the plane.
That's in the movie.
Skydiving. Yeah, that's the first scene.
Oh yeah, that's what
they're
I'm talking
skydiving out of the plane. What was the other one?
Thunderstruck by AC/DC, where it starts with like a riff, like
no, that's not in the movie.
Okay.
There's that one, and the last song is the Van Halen song.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called Higher. No. Van Halen Higher or something like that.
Yeah.
But the book ends the movie. So it starts off with
Higher Ground.
Yeah, and then it ends with Van Halen. And
that's a rocket soundtrack for the 90s.
I know there might be one more when they're roller skating in the beginning.
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's another one.
Let me see. I'll look it up right now.
Look at the soundtrack, but that's a budget, for a movie at that time, because you had to buy the rights to those songs. And then they filmed that. So that movie's got that movie has a weird history. Do you have it right there?
Yeah, 95. Let me see. Soundtrack. Here we go. Get into the soundtrack. Yeah, Higher Ground by Stevie Wonder, sung by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
What else? Are You Ready by Devo?
I don't remember where that's at. It has that one song where it's by probably nobody, but it's like, uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
Performed by Shampoo.
Yeah. I don't know who that
Dreams
is.
by Van Halen.
That's what it is. Dreams. Not Higher. That's Creed.
Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah. Is that in there?
I guess it is.
Maybe it's on the credits, I think. But yeah, fuck was it? That movie is I'll say infamous for one reason. Is that when that movie came out, if my memory is correct, which it probably is not because I was 7 years old or whatever. So that movie has so everyone knows this if you watch Power Rangers, but Jason, Trini, and Zach left the show. That's the red, yellow, black ranger. They left the show over contract disputes, right? And then they were replaced with 3 new people, Rocky, Aisha, and Adam. And if you in the show, when the old 3, they've already been kicked off the show, but they still use them in the show. Like it's either random archive footage or it's the backs of their heads and it's clearly not them, right? Which I knew even as a kid.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then the 3 new ones were just they were there for a little bit before they were Power Rangers, but then they become the Power Rangers. I think this movie came out before they were replaced. Because Because I remember watching the movie. I'm like, who the fuck are those people? They're not the Power Rangers. I think they released the movie before they did the switch in the show. I think I could have that wrong, but that's what my memory is. And so it's kind of weird that you watch that movie and you're like, well, who are these people? But all right, I guess we'll just go with it. Yeah, that movie. It was filmed in Australia. It's got a much bigger budget than the show, which is filmed in like Burbank. They're fighting the putties in that one park that's next to Warner Brothers, and they're always fighting them in there. They're always fighting them in these random parks around LA. If anyone wants to rewatch Power Rangers, if you know LA and it all, like you like, oh, okay, that's that one park. That's that one park. That's over by that studio. Yeah, the movie it's different characters for one, and then it's a much bigger budget. So the command center looks totally different. Zordon's he's like a little old man in a crystal, which he is at anyway. But like you actually see the old man. He's laying down and like, Rangers.
That was disturbing to me as a
kid.
Dude,
he looks pretty rough. And then Rita's place looks different, and then their costumes are all padded. It's not like the spandex. They have weapons that are different in the movie. Like Kimberly has that whip thing, and Billy's got a little taser that he like swings. It's so stupid. It's so called like Stega Stinger, and he tases some guy. And then the Zords at the end of that movie looks terrible, dude. Like the CGI they use for the Zords and the whole big fight is pretty bad, but. To bring it all back, yeah, this game's bringing back all those memories, and I'll probably play it tonight.
95, dude.
95, okay. That's when it came out in theaters?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wonder what date. Pull up the Power Rangers, the episode list.
Okay.
And
the episode Power Rangers.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And see what episode they've switched. I think it's the end of season 2, and it's called like something. It'll have an episode that you're like, oh, that's probably it. I have a feeling it was after this.
End of season 2, Green No More, Missing Green.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's before that or after that.
Dead Wave. The Power Transfer? No.
Oh.
There's so many episodes. There's like 50 episodes in a season. Oh, 30. Yeah.
Yeah, each season was a lot. It's not like... Because at that time, it was... They didn't really go on breaks. You know, it was like shows that
it was like a weekly show.
Yeah, they're every week. They didn't do like a summer or a winter break.
So the second season was 94 to 95. The third season was 95.
What's the first episode of the third season? What's it called?
A Friend in Need.
Oh, okay, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. But my memory of it is that the movie came out before they switched in the show, so it was a little jarring, but still a good movie. Yeah, so that's my Power Ranger thoughts. Okay. This is going to be... I have this question. I did not look it up because I wanted you to either do it for the show today or maybe you already know the answer. So I've talked about it many times. I work an early morning job where I have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning, right? So it means I get up at 5 to get to work by 6:30. A lot of the people that I work with are habitually late at that time. They either come in 6:45, 6:50, 7. Sometimes they get there too late because they don't want to, and they're in a position to be able to do that for the company I work for. You can do that through ways that are too complicated to explain here. But I always show up on time. I'm one of me and maybe like 4 other people who work those shifts always show up on time. And one of the ding dongs who's always late asked me one day, like, "Oh, what do you do? Like, are you always here on time?" And I'm like, because I just get here when I'm supposed to get here. And like, oh, well, how do you get here? I'm like, I set an alarm on my phone. They were just like, oh, like it was some like strange thing to be somewhere on time, right? Yeah. I get it's that early, but I thought like, what else could you possibly be doing before this today? Mm-hmm. Like if you're like running late and you start at noon, like maybe you're getting your kids out somewhere, or like, I don't know, you're meal prepping and that took too long. I don't know. What else could you be possibly doing that early in the morning to be habitually late? Other than some people don't wake up to their alarms or whatever. I don't know. All of that to say, I thought of like the concept of getting up to an alarm is not a new one.
Mm-hmm.
People have been doing it forever. And I thought back to what's the first alarm clock? And I thought like, well, it must be the rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're on the farm and oh my God, I don't know if I could get to this thought without sounding crazy. The rooster crows in the morning and then that gets up the farmers and then that's their alarm clock to start the day, right? Why rooster crows at the dawn? I don't know. Who cares? But what sound does a rooster make? Cock-a-doodle-doo, right? Where did that name come from, right? Because that's not what the sound is.
No.
And so what do they call roosters? Cocks.
Oh.
The rooster's called a cock, right? So I'm guessing that cock-a-doodle-doo comes from the term cock.
Mm-hmm.
What else is called a cock?
What do you mean? What else is called
a penis, right?
A penis.
So and it was like a chicken and the egg thing. Like, which came first? The slang for the penis is cock,
okay,
or the chicken is cock. But however, what else is associated with a penis cock? Wood, right? And what happens in the morning? Morning wood. And so my brain went like this. Like, is that why? Because the rooster's associated with the morning time. Do we call roosters cocks because we call penises cocks, which are morning wood? I don't know. It was like one of those the Charlie with the math board, and I think you have something pulled up. So.
Okay, we have so somebody was trying to connect the dots with this word. I'm looking it up right here.
And that wasn't just me.
Okay, penis is 1600s. Also compare blah blah. The male has been associated with many lands. Slang word led to. What the hell? I'm not. Okay, it's just a lot of information for me.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'll give you.
Okay. Yeah, read all about the cocks. But yeah, I don't know that because I was on one of my hikes today. I after I got the Wi-Fi up, I went for a hike and. For some reason, that thought crossed my mind. I got cock on the brain when I was walking. And yeah, so when you get to that, let me know. But moving on.
Well, it says in Old English, according during the early Roman and medieval periods, the cock, male chicken, was a popular phallic symbol. So they always referred to, so the sculptures from the era frequently depicting roosters somehow transformed into human penises. It was also common to find amulets in artwork in the shape of disembodied penises adorned with cock wings or bearing cock legs. So they used to always just refer to the penis as like a rooster.
So the rooster, they were called cocks first.
Yeah.
Because those were symbols of male.
Yeah, they just, I guess.
Masculinity.
Yeah.
They just turned into penises. All right. So there goes my morning wood thing.
Yeah.
It's just roosters have been associated with penises, apparently.
Yeah.
What did it say? 1800? 1600?
Early Roman and medieval periods.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what's masculine about a rooster. Other than there's one rooster and a lot of hens. Maybe that's it.
It says the origin of the word penis is Latin for tail and was adopted by the English in the 17th century to refer to the male sex organ.
Or tails.
Some linguistics believe, some, however, say penis came from Latin for pencil. The other two words, in fact, are interchangeable. Then again, it's suggested by others that penis came from the Latin word penis, referring to a storage chamber sacred to the Roman household god.
Penis!
That's with the U.
It's funny the penis came over there, guys. No. Pencil, that's funny because pencil dick's an insult. You're really just saying pencil.
The word cock is derived from the familiar sunrise cock-a-doodle-doo of a crowing rooster. Cock hails from both Old English and French coq, which originated as a name for a male chicken. Given the rooster's responsibility for bringing up the sun each morning, it's not surprising the early ancestors just became a symbol for the morning.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay, think of it this way. If cock equals sun and phallus equals sun, then cock equals phallus.
Well, what would the phallus equal the sun?
Because the word phallus was known as the phallus was known. So they used to refer to that as a sacred symbol of the sun. So they used to refer to the sun as a phallus.
Oh,
Wow.
interesting. What was that? What was that show? Teletubbies. The son was a baby. It's the whole. That ring goes way deeper than you think it does, guys. Interesting.
Wow, we learned a lot.
I've never heard of the sun as a phallus or anything phallic. I mean, other than it's the center of the universe, I guess, as men are. That would probably be it. But moving on. Enough about the cocks. Oh, movie Wicked came out.
Oh yeah.
Did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I don't have 3 hours of my day.
I talked about it with Clint because he watches every fucking movie, but he was excited to see it. I haven't seen it, but I have seen. I don't like musicals really, but I did see a lot of the cringe around those two girls.
The two leads, Ariana Grande
and the other one,
Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah, this is funny. I don't know. It's funny. It's happening right now, or right now. It's cooled off a little bit, but that holding space thing was hilarious.
Yeah, they did a video where they were talking about like what was going on in that moment. What does that even mean? Yeah. And Ariana Grande was like, I don't even know. I was just trying to like
match the energy.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. She's
trying to match your vibe. I don't know. I had a really offensive, I don't know, not joke, but observation about it with somebody at work because we were talking about it. And this person was a girl and they thought it was funny. Okay. But it's watching that. I had not seen the movie, but I know about Wicked. You know, everybody kind of knows it's the Wizard of Oz, but before. And it's a musical. And it's really like, what? Like it's, it's a musical. Yeah. Like the ones that I can't stand, where everyone's just like singing narration, like whatever. But after watching the holding space thing, I saw some other ones where they're just like clinging onto each other and just crying. Yeah. Like one gets in that one's lap and just like curls up. Yeah. And I was talking, this is horrible. I was talking about a girl and I was like, I get the vibe that they're synced up right now. Oh, and that's happening right there.
I mean, if you spend enough time with somebody,
exactly. Or like, you think about the movie where they're the leads, right? And they're doing all their scenes. So they've been around each other a lot, and I guess it's just happening right now in front of us, and that's that would explain why they're so emotional about this. Mm-hmm. Unless they just really feel powerful about the movie, I don't really know. But she thought it was funny, so. Maybe cut that out. I
don't think it was as offensive.
Some of the stuff you cut out in the past. As it left my mouth, it was one of the things like, oh. Saying that to a woman could go only one of two ways, and the bad way I don't want to deal with. So, anywho, it's something I know nothing about. I never will. I'm not ever going to touch that, except for that joke. But yeah, Thanksgiving passed. Mine was pretty bland. Yeah. Turkey sucked. I went to a Friendsgiving party though, the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know why the fuck they did the day before, but I feel like I had a rant about this before in a previous episode, but the party started at 8:00 and it was at somebody's house. So luckily we were not out at like a bar or something, mm-hmm. But that's so late to start a party. Yeah.
8:00. That's like, hey, I'm 2/3 into this party. It's almost over.
That's when for me at least, at most, that's halfway. Like you're starting to wind down, and then get home by 10. Mm-hmm. But that was the goal, is I wanted to be home. The party originally was going to start at 7, and then it got pushed to 8. So when it was at 7, I was like, okay, I'll stay till 9 and then head out so I can be home. It was like 30 minutes from my house, so I'll be home by 9:30. Or start to do like the, okay, goodbye stuff so I can get out of there and be home. It got pushed to 8, so I was like, all right, 10 o'clock's not so bad. I'm not that fucking old. 10 o'clock's not bad. And the party was sold to me as like a low-key 5 people. We each going to bring like one. They're going to provide food, but we'll each bring one item, and it'll just be real chill. We'll play some Fleetwood Mac and just like, have a few drinks, whatever. I get to this fucking house and I've never been to this person's house, but I get inside and there's a table set up. Like one of those 2 or 3 tables put together. and there's like 20 place cards there. Oh my God. There's like a whole
There's
thing.
15 extra people here.
Yeah. Each place has our name on it, like a little stand-up thing with our name on it, a little like paper. Like, oh, this is like an official party. It's not just like a drop in, drop out thing, or you can just pop in and say, hey, what's up? There's tons of food. It's like a whole thing where I'm like, well, I'm not getting out of here by 10. I feel it already. And to be fair, I like all these people, and they have a good time with them when I'm with them. And it's nothing to do with them. It's just I'm at that age now where I want to be home in bed, especially because I get up so early for work. I was off the next day, but still, I'm in that cycle, like the two girls. So yeah, I was like, I want to, fuck, I'm just in it now. So then the food, we finished, the food is like still stuff needs to be cooked. So whatever. We serve ourselves. By the time we're done eating, it's 9:30-ish. I'm like, perfect. I can just head out after this. Like, oh, thanks for the meal. They got to let the dog out. Like I have plenty of excuses. Then one of the guys does a speech. We're like, okay, fine, let's do the speech. And then they're like, all right, it's time for the game. Like, no! Everybody get your place card and see what number you have on the back of it. Fuck! So then I can't leave at that. Everyone gets up and like moves from that table, and it'd be so awkward if I was just like cloud of smoke gone after that, right? Because we were playing with like even people. Like you need each person to play. So then I ended up staying for that shit, and then chatting afterwards because I'd had a few drinks and everyone else had been drinking. Yeah. And so it's just naturally like you're chatting. And then
so you were having a good time. You were just
I was having fun, but I still wanted to be home.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to bed, dude. Like
I have to say I kind of topped you on that one because I've left events in the middle of just been like, all right, guys, that was fun. I know you guys are still doing your thing. I'm out. Like
I was running that scenario through my head, but it would have with this group of people because they probably would have been sad. Yeah. Or they would have been like, where the fuck are you going? I was like, because there are groups of friends I'm with where I do that and they don't care. Yeah. They know, or they just don't care. This one would care. Yeah. So I was like, how can I get out of here easily where people aren't going to notice or whatever? So after there was multiple games, right? So after the first game, everyone kind of split. This was a very big house. So everyone kind of like split off and was just like chatting, whatever. And then I went to the host, my friend Lauren, shout out. And I was like, hey, I'm going to go right now. She didn't care. She's like, okay, whatever. But just don't tell anyone. And the way the house was built is like there's a side door that just you can kind of just slip out, and the driveway is like a long driveway up to my car. And so I just got out. And which this made me feel great. No one texted me. To be like, hey, where are you?
That would make me sad.
Yeah. That sounds sad, but I think
they understood.
They know. So they were not like, where'd you go? They're like, oh, he must have done the dip that he does. So it was kind of fun. But yeah, it's just like, are we still doing the parties this late when we're this age? Come on, guys.
Just grow up, guys.
Yeah, grow up like me. Grow old like I did. So yeah, the New Year. I think we'll do another episode before the end of the. Hopefully, we can do one more.
Yeah, I think we have a couple more weeks.
Yeah, it just depends on the availability of our co-host.
All of us, actually.
All of us. So I hope we can do one more because I want to do like a 2024 wrap up, and then maybe pull some stuff to listen to, but we'll see. Voiceover updates. I have nothing really other than auditioning is hard and it's a lot. I'm thinking about maybe starting an Instagram for that. Just like studio stuff.
What would it be?
Just in the studio, like the build. Because I've built like a little makeshift thing that's in like the corner of the closet. But I want to
like one of those like with a little box with pads on it, so there's no.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's like this stuff,
like a small version of that.
Yeah, but you want to make sure that like everything. It's you don't have to tell you. But they actually sell studios. It'll be something that's probably the size of your box right there. And you just kind of unfold it and pull it up. And it's soundproof.
Yeah.
So like you could put it in the corner of a room. Mm-hmm. And then you got to buy all your mics and stuff. But it works as like keep all the sound in.
That's cool.
Yeah, I didn't know they had those. So
technology, man.
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago when I started doing this, like there was no content creator section at Best Buy, and now it's all
nothing.
there.
What's crazy is that the particular courses that I took, one of the big criteria, one of the big parts of that is that you can do that wherever you want now instead of having to drive into a studio, like in LA somewhere and record. Like you can do a lot of that stuff at home. You just got to learn how to do it, which is very hard.
That's why it trips me out when like the voice of Milhouse on The Simpsons, she quit her job even though she has a booth at home and just records like.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you quitting? It's to pursue other creative things. Like you have time.
Right. I think one time I heard an interview with Mila Kunis from the Family Guy when she does that. She's done that in a hotel room. Like when she's traveling, she'll take a couple hours to get her shit set up and then record. I don't know how many episodes or however they do their timelines, but they just bang it out real quick and then the paycheck is there.
Yeah, it's so easy.
In your sweats, drinking the fucking Pellegrino, and then just no one likes me. Whatever it makes sense. I don't know. It's so easy to do a voiceover. Well, it's not easy to do voiceover, but to have to record it somewhere nowadays.
To literally record it, yeah.
Yeah, the recording part. The actual acting is hard, but
there was a story about how when they were doing Shrek, they kept coming up with ideas even after he was done with the main sessions. So there's like a line in the movie where he's like, "Attention, fairy tale things."
Yeah.
He said, I recorded that in a cab with the guy holding a microphone. Just say this line real quick.
That's crazy. And then somehow they cleaned it up.
They made it and put it in the movie.
That's nuts, dude. Technology is crazy. I have other stuff, but we're kind of getting close to the end. This will take a little bit, but happy Spotify Wrapped.
Nice.
I always... as not cringe, but as lame as it is, I always enjoy seeing other people's. I enjoy seeing mine. Seeing what song. It's always the same songs or the same top 5 every year. And I know the number one song that I have, it's always number one because I put it on sometimes while I'm sleeping, or like taking a nap. But it's just like a guitar song from a game. It's just very chill, mellow, have on in the background. But I have it on repeat, and the song's like 2 minutes long, so it just goes over and over and over and over sometimes. So every year it's always number one. I'm like, I don't listen to this that often. Oh, actually, it's been on for hours before. So yeah, I enjoy seeing Spotify rap stuff. But I do want to say before I leave, I've been doing this project where I listen to a full album of music every day. The band genre can be whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It could be anything. But yeah, I've recorded it all in this notebook, and I started on August 31st. So I've got one every day. Maybe I can do. I don't know. I kind of want to do something with this, but I don't know what I would
read
do.
some of the ones you've read.
All right, we'll choose a date. So we did this. We did this before off mic.
October 5th.
Okay, October 5th. City Girl, Goddess of the Hollow. City Girl is kind of like not lo-fi, but just kind of I call it ambient music, but it's just kind of stuff to have on in the background. Nice. But very good. Give me one more.
What else that week? Or October 23rd, Halloween. What did you listen to on Halloween?
Okay, Halloween. Let's see. That's on the next page. Hers. Invitation to Hers, which is their very first album. They only had 2 because they died in a plane crash.
Oh wow!
I feel like I've told you guys that at one point. I had it on my Spotify.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, they died in a plane crash. Yeah, great band. All right, let's do one more.
This is up till now, right? So November 12th.
November 12th. Genuine.
Oh hell yeah! I was looking for something like this. I was like,
go from Hers to Genuine. Oh god! All right, let's do one more. This is kind of fun.
Okay, November 19th.
November 19th. Madonna Celebration.
Hey.
Like I'm saying, it's all over the place. Yeah. You know, there's Nirvana is on here, Pixies.
Which Nirvana album?
Nevermind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of The Cure, obviously, which was my number one band this year. I didn't expect that, but I am a big Cure fan. The Police is on here. Coheed and Cambria, Blondie, Joy Division, Velvet Underground, Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, dude. I've recently, when that one song, the Mamushi one came out, because that was totally grabbed by the anime community, which I'm a part of. No, I'm not a part of, but I follow a lot of voice actors. I like anime.
Yeah.
And they were putting that song to everything.
Yeah.
You know, and their little fucking dance thing, whatever. And it's a good song too.
Yeah.
And I've heard of Megan the Stallion. And I saw her on that She-Hulk show.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is this lady? But then I actually listened to some of her music, and like she's actually really good, really good.
Yeah, she's so hot.
Yeah, she. Would you call her a rapper?
She's a rapper. Yeah.
Rapper, okay.
She's a rapper. Yeah.
Would you call her a rapper?
Okay, Clint over here,
Yeah.
house music.
Yeah. Is he EDMing right now? It's not an action.
Is the EDM in the room with us right now?
What were we listening to? He's like, so is that EDM? Like, no.
It was like
That's
Drake.
somebody spinning. That's not EDM.
Oh, yeah, it was like a mix.
You saw a person. They're not EDMing? No, it's not an action. It's a genre of music.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion, she had to fight her way into the anime community because at first they're like, you're a girl. You girls don't like this. Or black girls don't like this. Like, it was a lot of hate. And then eventually she's like, no, I'm about this life. And I think
since I followed her, she does. So that in that same album, there's another song. I don't know what it's called, but she talks about a show. But and then since fall, like she did this one little dance thing to this show's called Yu Yu Hakusho. But the theme song is like an iconic theme song, and she was like dancing in the mirror to it. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, this is crazy! Like, no one knows this shit unless you're into anime."
Yeah,
and so that's always kind of cool to see. Her and what's up? The guy who played he was in Black Panther.
Michael B. Jordan.
He's really into anime too.
Big anime person.
And I saw he directed the second or the third Creed.
Third Creed.
The third. Somebody had pulled up because he did a lot of homages to like Dragon Ball. Like he did
the third one, yeah.
Yeah, and they actually showed like the scenes that he did. Like this was like Vegeta getting punched.
Yeah.
This is him getting, and it was the same shot. And I was like, this is what I like to see.
Yeah.
I like to see people who unabashedly like anime and they're gonna just throw it around in mainstream. That's quotes stuff, and it's just I like this shit, so I'm gonna put it in here, and you'll like it too, maybe if you check it out. So.
Shout out to those people, man.
Yeah, shout out to Michael B. Jordan, Megan Thee Stallion.
Two of the hottest people we have ever talked about on the show.
Yeah. We'll put it up there. And on that note, hopefully we'll see you before have a show before New Year's because I want to do one of those episodes. But Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. I went to Grinchmas in the studios. It was cute. If you're into that stuff, go check it out. If you're in Los Angeles, go see. Go to the Studs. Go to the Grinchmas. It was fun. Merry Christmas, Caesar. Give all your stuff.
Oh, you could follow me at Rodriguez Podcast. I'm doing a new deal for first-time clients at the Hits 101 Radio Studio. So yeah, book a session with me. And then at Carla and Caesar's Modern Life, we just did a reaction to the Kendrick Lamar album. It's at 14,000 views. People, what were you gonna say about that?
So that mustard thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mustard.
Yeah, I know that song obviously from the memes. Like Kendrick, I don't really listen to. Nothing good or nothing about it. I don't listen to his music. But I know that mustard thing. Again, that's a heavy in the anime community. But somebody at work, like right when that came out, they came into work with like a mustard stain on their shirt, right? And so I was like, mustard on the shirt, and no one knew what it was. I was so mad. I was like, oh, that would have been perfect. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, apparently when he goes into that mustard part, there's like a sample from Dragon Ball Z or something in the song itself.
Oh yeah, the yell, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have no context for the mustard line. What does it mean in the song?
Oh, Mustard is just the name of the producer.
Oh.
So his name is DJ Mustard.
He's not talking about the condiment.
No.
Okay.
Well, because it's funny because DJ Mustard, his name is Dijon. Like the mustard. So he goes by DJ Mustard.
Oh, I get it. His actual name is Dijon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and then he's also he produced the track, so he's a big anime fan, and that was like the interpolation was that.
Okay.
So that's cool.
The mustard thing, I wanted to record it on my phone and be like, mustard! But no one knew what it was. I was so pissed.
Where can they follow you?
Uncle 2_Marcus on everything. The 30s pod and everything. You guys know what it is. Thank you. See you later.